Hi, it's Eve from Fasting, Feasting, Foodie. In this podcast, I'm going to talk about how to eat on intermittent fasting. And how to eat means, is the order of eating important, and how to eat when it comes to eating, when you sit down at your table, and what you do next. I'll start with the order of eating. Some people say it's very important, especially when you eat fruit. But some people say that when you eat fruit after your meal, they ferment. But actually, I don't believe it, because it doesn't make any sense, really. If you know how your body works physiologically, how your stomach works, it doesn't make any sense whatsoever, because when you swallow, let's say you swallow a piece of fruit, and then you eat soup, everything is mixed with the acids. Actually, our stomach makes some moves. Our stomach makes some moves, and to ensure that all the food is mixed with the acids, so it's turning our food, and our food is turned in our stomach. So where is the fermentation? So I don't believe in this idea, this notion that fruit ferment in our stomach when they are eaten after the meal, because they are the easiest to digest. And I would like to also add a little bit about melons, because some people say that melons should be eaten alone or left alone, and I had two instances of eating a melon and then going to the bathroom really fast. And I thought that maybe there's something in it, like that you shouldn't mix melon with other food, but it turned out that the reason behind my not well-being and about this, the reasons behind those instances of bathroom emergency was the reason behind it was the sorbitol that is in the melons. Sorbitol is a compound sugar, and when you eat too much of it, it's just it loosens your stool and causes some gut problems. So it was about my problems were because I ate too much of sorbitol. Actually, that is found naturally in melons. So be aware of this, but don't think that you shouldn't mix melons with other food, because it's not true. And so physiologically, the order of eating is not important at all, but it might be important if you want to eat some sort of food first, to ensure that you've got the nutrients that you need. So you might set your priorities, and you might say, okay, I want to eat my veggies. I want to make sure that I will eat enough veggies during my meal, which might be very important if you eat once a day, let's say. So if you've got those priorities, that you want to eat certain nutrients first, or foods rich in certain nutrients first, then you should eat those nutrients and those foods first. Let's say if you've got problems with eating enough vegetables and fruit, it makes sense to start with vegetables and eat them before, when you are really hungry, and then eat the rest of your meal. Although I don't do this, because for me vegetables and fruit are integral parts of my meals, and I like them. They give the juiciness to my meals, and I don't have to force myself just to eat them. I like them actually very much. So I don't do this, but some people might have this problem, and then the order of eating might solve this problem. The same is with other sort of food. That's why we generally don't eat desserts first, because imagine that we started, conventional dinner with a dessert. Oh, what a wonderful notion to start with a dessert. But it would mean that you wouldn't feel like eating, let's say, your meat, potatoes, and salad, or you would eat less of them. And they are usually more nutritious than desserts. I'm not saying that desserts are not nutritious, that they are empty calories. There's nothing like empty calories, actually, in my opinion. But but desserts are usually less nutritious than other foods, other food that you might eat. So, if you opt for your meals to be as much nutritious as possible, you should eat most nutritious things first. But it's about methodology. It's not about physiology, actually, and I want to be quite clear about it. And I do it from time to time. Like, I follow this rule. Like, for example, if I set my priority in such a way that I want to eat 2 oranges before eating a hot soup, I eat the oranges first, and then hot soup, because oranges are my priority. Because I came to the conclusion that there were not enough fruit in my life since that time. But sometimes I eat fruit after the hot soup, and there is no difference. There is no physiological difference within my body. So don't believe in some myths and superstitions about the order of eating, because if you read how your stomach works, if you learn about physiology of digestion, you would just know that it's like that these are myths and superstitions. And when you actually start eating, it's very important to start eating in a right frame of mind, to be relaxed, both mentally and physically. So don't eat if you're not feeling well physically. Usually, you don't feel like eating, actually, at all. And sometimes, it's good to follow your instincts, because sometimes our bodies are wiser than we are, than our learned, acquired thinking is. So we should relax before eating, and if you are not relaxed, just have a break, 15-minute break from work. Go for a walk, meditate, do some breathing exercises, maybe play with a dog, with a cat, with a rat, or whatever. And just eat when you feel nice, when you feel good. And it's very important, because if you start eating when you are nervous and irritated, and you might eat too much and too quickly, and eating too much and too quickly might result in not feeling so good after eating. You might have some physical sensations that are not so pleasant. So to avoid this, just eat slowly in a relaxed manner, with a relaxed head, and munch your food properly. And to do this, actually, it's very important just to sit at a table. Don't distract yourself with electronic devices. I've seen people eating surrounded by electronic devices, so they've got a laptop in front, a cell phone on one side, the tablet on the other side, and they are just looking at all of them and not looking at the food and not thinking about the food. So just look at the food, enjoy it, smell the food, touch the food. I like eating with my fingers, actually. And and then you would feel really good after such way of eating, and you will eat less, and sometimes so you won't overeat too much. So that's all that I wanted to tell you about. I hope that the information and advice given here would be valuable for you. Thank you very much for watching and listening. Bye.